Someone tied this puppy to a stationary truck with the likely intention of it being a temporary safe place to secure the dog outside. However, sometime later, the truck was gone and the dog, it seemed, was lying in the middle of the road. It all began in Galveston County, Texas, where police responded to a call about a puppy. A 6-month-old Australian cattle dog, Arlo, had been involved in some kind of accident. Animal control arrived on the scene at 6 p.m. on November of 2016. Despite being used to helping animals in need, the authorities were shocked at what they found. Poor Arlo had in fact suffered major trauma to his chest, paw, and legs. The details surrounding what happened to the puppy were scarce, but it seemed that someone had tied Arlo to a parked truck. Then they either forgot and drove off, or the driver never knew the dog was there in the first place. When the truck's driver pulled away, Arlo was still attached to the vehicle. Whoever had tied up the animal had clearly made a major mistake, for the poor pup was dragged some distance. In what was undoubtedly an agonizing experience, the pooch was dragged 3/4 of a mile down a dirt track, and Arlo was only set free when his collar broke from the tension. Despite the awful ordeal, the pup somehow survived. His traumatic experience wasn't over yet, though. Sadly, Arlo's owner couldn't afford veterinary care, so he was taken to a shelter. And because the facility was unequipped to deal with the dog's extensive injuries, Arlo was left untreated in his kennel. That's when Houston K911 rescue owner Anna Barbosa stepped in. None of his wounds were wrapped. He stayed like that for 24 hours, she explained. He was very guarded at the beginning. He was in immense pain. You can see that big pieces of his skin and muscle were gone. Barbosa took the canine to Vergy Animal Hospital in Houston, where he was immediately sedated. While the pup was unconscious, veterinarians were able to clean and treat his wounds, which were substantial. Little Arlo, in fact, had torn muscles, skin stripped away, and even some bone exposed. Writing on his Facebook page, Houston K911 Rescue said in November 2016, Arlo had a difficult future ahead of him. We are told he will likely need a soft tissue surgeon to help piece him together. This will be a very long and painful process, but the vets believe he can have a good outcome. Arlo would need extensive treatment, including x-rays and potentially surgery that would help heal his wounds. So to pay for his procedures, Houston K911 Rescue launched a crowdfunding campaign hoping to raise $20,000 to secure the poor puppy's future. Arlo is a beautiful puppy with a will to live. He's going to need x-rays to determine if there are any broken bones. He will need weeks of difficult wound care. Arlo didn't deserve to be tortured by dragging. Whether it was intended or accidental, Arlo is still in serious trouble, and we need your help to give him the best medical care he deserves, the crowdfunding page said. And little Arlo's plight touched a chord with many animal lovers who flocked to the site to donate money. Bless you, little one, sending healing thoughts and prayers to you. Please keep fighting. There are people here rooting for you and willing you better, read one kind comment. Thanks to the generosity of strangers and the expert care he received at the animal hospital, Arlo began getting better. 2 days after his horrific accident, the puppy mustered up the energy to wag his tail. It was a small sign of hope that brought tears to his carer's eyes. Thankfully, his wounds turned pink and began to heal. He wasn't out of the woods yet, though. An x-ray showed that the dog had potentially sustained a fracture to his hind foot. He was also relying on pain medication and a hunger stimulant to help him eat. Arlo was therefore taken to Texas A&M Veterinary Hospital to determine whether or not he'd need surgery. Once there, experts confirmed that the pooch needed skin grafts, and the total cost of Arlo's medical care was estimated at $10,000. But Barbosa was not willing to give up. Besides, before the dog could undergo the costly surgery, his skin would have to be prepped. His wounds were therefore cleaned and treated each and every day. Then something amazing started happening. Arlo's wounds were healing so well that the vets decided he wouldn't need skin grafts after all. The inspirational fighter had come so far that he was able to go home with the care just 3 weeks after his nightmare ordeal. His recovery was indeed nothing short of miraculous. In December 2016, Arlo was able to run freely without bandages. With all he has been through since that one horrible day, it is heartwarming to see the relief and kind of joy that is starting to show up now that he's over the hump, Houston K911 wrote. Thankfully, too, the little pup doesn't seem too traumatized by his awful experience, and he has his amazing spirit and the kindness and compassion of the dog lovers who donated to his cause to thank for his amazing recovery. Hopefully, his good fortune will continue and he'll be back to full health in no time.